What's up YouTube? I'm Danielle, and this is Kitchen Optimist. I'm a novice cook, the expert eater, taking on recipes that scare the salt out of me one teaspoon at a time. So while I am not a breakfast person, I am certainly a brunch person, especially brunches that last long enough that they switch over to the dinner menu. I had many such a brunch with a dear friend in New York, hey Stephanie, at my beloved Inoteca, Lower East Side staple, closed a few years ago, and my favorite thing to get there was the truffle egg toast. And clearly, I'm not the only one who had a minor obsession with it, because I was able to pretty easily find a dupe recipe for it as soon as I searched. I'm not afraid of making eggs, I'm not afraid of making toast, but there is something so good about it. It was like, there's just no way I'm ever gonna be able to equal the awesomeness of the dish that's put in front of me while laughing hysterically with one of my favorite people. That is still true. However, they are closed. I no longer live in New York. This is my only option. For those of you unfamiliar, is a piece of thick bread with an egg. I found out afterwards only the yolk part in the center with fontina cheese. There's asparagus involved underneath and truffle oil, obviously, hence the truffle egg toast. They have the option of serving it with botarga, which fish eggs, I believe. Hey Siri, what's botarga? It is a delicacy of salted cured fish roe pouch. Gross. Typically of the gray mullet or the bluefin tuna. I thought it overwhelmed the other flavors, so I always had mine without, which is good because now I don't have to go try and find that. I am preheating my oven to 400 degrees, and for all my fear of it, this recipe seems pretty simple. I have to saute the asparagus. I also have to slice cheese. So the recipe is from boston.com. I will link below. The recipe is for 4 people. I'm gonna half that simply because while I love truffle egg toast, I can only eat so much of it in one sitting, and it is not something that you want to like reheat later on at all. But I'm hoping that it ends up amazing because I do have enough ingredients to make this for my husband and myself this weekend when he is home at a brunch time and eats carbs. I'm gonna cut my fontina cheese first. This is just under half a pound, which means it is just under 8 ounces. I'm only doing a half batch, which would be a quarter of it. Great, understood. So this is fontina cheese. I have had it before, obviously, because I've had this dish, but I could not tell you what its main properties are if you asked me, so please don't. I want to say it's slightly nutty, but I'm just making it up. It says thin pieces. Okay, I think that's that. Oh, oven's ready. Okay, I need half of a tablespoon of lemon juice. That is a quarter tablespoon of lemon juice. I do not have a quarter tablespoon. A tablespoon is 2.5 teaspoons. So half of that would be 1 1/4, and half of that would be half plus 1/8, right? 1 1/4, half and 1/8. Okay, I can do that. Okay, I have that ready for later. I need to chop 6 asparagus spears. These ones seem littler than the ones I usually get, so I did 8 because I am a rebel. They're supposed to be cut into 1-inch pieces. I think that's literally the last time I need a knife. So I'm gonna heat about a quarter tablespoon of olive oil and saute my asparagus and then be back. There we go. So I accidentally plated my asparagus before giving them the little spritz of lemon juice and salt. So we're rolling with it and doing it now. This is one of those to taste moments, which I hate so much. Really just guessing here with my lemon juice. It would have been much better to mix it up before, but I can already say that this feels like significantly less asparagus than I got in the dish originally. So assuming there is a next time, I will do more asparagus now. Let's put these to the side. I did toast in that pan 2 pieces of Texas toast. The recipe calls for Pullman bread, which apparently is just square bread, which is great for the aesthetic, obviously, but I could not find that and I could not bring myself to bake it. And the most important thing is that the bread be thick. This was the thickest that I could find. They said a minimum of 1 inch. This is probably a little under. My dog is licking my foot right now. I need an indentation that is 2 inches long by 1 inch wide. This is for the egg, and I am cautioned to not break the bottom, so hopefully do okay here. This is what we got. I put the yolks of 2 eggs per piece of toast. So I am separating out my whites, possibly to be used by my husband later, likely to be thrown out in about a week when we realize he hasn't eaten that. Oh, it broke. It broke. It broke. Nothing I can do about that now. except feel bad about it. Important lesson here is egg yolks can't really be nudged once they've been placed. Wow, that was a bit zesty on my part. Aww. Now I am to cover them with fontina, not over the yolk, although I don't know how I'm doing that since my yolk is growing. I think it's just some of it's going to be over the yolk. I'm sad. It started out so well. Now this goes in the oven for only 5 minutes, or until cheese is melted. Well, my yolk looks a little loose, which I think is what it's supposed to. Okay, if we're going by the book, it's like 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm just gonna drizzle. Maybe gone a little heavy-handed there. A grind of pepper. Okay, so immediately, I think I need more cheese. It also feels like it didn't fully melt, but I put it in for longer than they said. I'll see. I think I just need more of it. Maybe I put it in too long. My yolks are jiggly. I like the way they jiggle. Let's try a bite. Let's see how it is. Okay, warm and runny, that is right, for sure. That I remember. Possibly too runny. Let's do this. Okay, not as good as Inoteca's. The base is there. So obviously next time I need to try to not break the yolks when I'm putting them in the bread. I think it needs more cheese. It definitely needs more asparagus. Create at least a single layer of the area of your piece of toast. And that's probably the right amount of asparagus. I didn't quite have that. I don't think I put too much truffle oil on. I don't know why, but I seem to remember the cheese melting over the eggs. Found some photos. Yeah, definitely way more asparagus. None of these have the cheese going over the eggs. I think I just didn't do enough, even though I followed how much I was supposed to do. Maybe I'd shred it next time so that it would melt more evenly, but then if that melts too fast, I don't know. I will make this again. I don't think the bread is quite thick enough. I don't know where to find Pullman bread. Please feel free to let me know down below. I would love that. Okay, total time to make this was 43 minutes and 44 seconds. What I love though is that it wouldn't take a whole lot more time to do more of it. You have to cut a little bit more asparagus, but I could have toasted all 4 pieces of toast in the pan at the same time. I could have put all 4 pieces of the assembled egg toast in the oven at the same time. It would be an easy thing to cook for people coming over for brunch and not feel like you're the hired help in the kitchen cooking so that everybody gets their stuff warm. Like it all comes out at the same time. Perfect. And then for price, the ingredients were $49.37, the cheese and the truffle oil being the higher ticket items. And the equipment was $151.91. Big ticket item being the saute pan that I used to cook the asparagus. As always, on the equipment side, especially for this one, it's stuff you probably have in your kitchen: cutting board, measuring cups, measuring spoons, knife. To me, it's just important to include those because everybody's kitchen is stocked differently. So the grand total for this dish is $201.28. The ingredients at $49.37. Let me tell you, you would not be able to get 4 truffle egg toasts at Inoteca for that amount of money. Well, you wouldn't be able to get them for any amount of money since the restaurant is closed, but you get what I'm saying. If I weren't trying to recapture the nostalgia of that dish in that place in that time, would I be as gung-ho about this? I don't know. I don't know if I would have been afraid of it if I didn't have those sentimental feelings towards this. But I'm gonna call this a win, something I will serve people. I will definitely eat both. No worries about that. It's simple, easy, I guess sort of like a grown-up egg in a hole, but I've never had an egg in a hole, so it's just supposition there. So another one bites the dust. Not as scary as I thought it was gonna be, not as difficult at all. Not as good either, but certainly repeatable. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Danielle and this is Kitchen Optimist. Please like and subscribe. And as always, stay salty.